Let's get this dog in theme, man. Oh. Right, and save. It is time. VXY, SQQQs. And it has some pretty good volume too, so that's pretty good. I don't know what this fifth one is that it says that I don't have on. 1, 2. Maybe it's something else there. Starting to bleed out, baby. Oh, Monday morning. Looking around the market, and it did continue to bleed out from Friday. It was headed down, and now it's down and out. Man, took a trade on SOXS on Friday. It just, wow, it gapped on this morning. It gapped like hard. I was trading it. Let me go over here to the main. So I was trading down here in the 32 levels, and now today it is up at $40. That is a huge gap. And also I was peeking over at crypto, and I saw a lot of crypto down, a lot of it. So like Atom, Osmos, things just red or either just dumping from the tops that they touched. IMX, all of them just red. Bitcoin, wait, where's Bitcoin? Bitcoin right here. Went up here to this top level and got shoved back into this little zone here under 50K. BNB had a huge move back down from, got up here to the tops of $720 something, and now it's down to 412. I just could not imagine being somebody that even bought 10 BNBs up here. Because, I mean, that's a $300 rip down. $300. All of these just red, everything red in the crypto. US oil, let's see, not looking horrible. Just holding around 72 bucks, but man, SOX. I'll be watching it again today for some more scalps. Now, let me show you guys the trade from Friday. Ay. So, first of all, before I show y'all, this was one of the things I was so confident that the market was going down, I would not sell my position. And it was kind of crazy. It ended up working out, but it was bad for a minute. It was a little bit of pain. And I'll show you what I did wrong, what I didn't do to follow my strategy or my system here, and and how it played out. So let's jump over here to Trader Sync to the trade from Friday. So overall, I came out green, but man, it was a rough ride. It was a rough ride on this one. Usually, I'm used to getting in and immediately going green. That did not happen on this one. So down here, this is a 1 minute chart. Let's look at the 15 minute. 15-minute chart. We saw this little gap, came up, and it made this little formation in the morning. And I was kind of looking at it. I was like, okay, well, looks interesting around, this level here of the 31s, but I don't have any confirmation of that. It came down into this level, formed a little flat bottom, and popped up with this, what looked like a spinning top. And I was like, okay, well, that looks bullish. And then it started to kind of come back up and engulf this previous red candle. Now, I wasn't super bullish on it because it was still an inside candle. It was inside the previous dump. And so I was like, it still got time to dump. And so it came up here and played me here. So it played me up to the 32, still an inside candle, but I was looking for this break above. I was looking for a 3-bar play. And so I entered, actually I entered on this candle, this green. I wanted to see green first. It dumped down. I saw this green here. It pumped up and I was entering right at the top of this. And it just didn't play out. It started to dump on me. I entered at what, 33.21 exactly. So let me see. Let me put a line out here. Horizontal line, trend line, horizontal line. So 33.21 was my entry. I know what it was. So I entered this one early. That's what I did. So I actually entered this one back on one of these candles, probably on this one right here. And got in 33.21, and that's when it dumped. And I held through this dump. That's what it was. Held through it, and it came back up. So if we look at the P&L, this is what it looked like. Got in at 321 or 33.21. It dumped. I was like, oh boy, this is gonna hurt. Down 214, came back up. I was like, all right. Now my max loss on every single day is $500, and I was like, well, didn't hit my max loss, so I just kept holding. The problem with this is I didn't follow the system, which would have got me stopped out way earlier, and I would have just been out of the trade red. So jump down here. I mean, I was down 350, came back up to 161, came back up to 99, came back up to 150. I mean, came back down to 154. Then it started making progress. And at this point, I was like, well, you know what? I'm just going to put it at break even, and I'm just going to trail it up to whatever I can get. It did go up though. It went up to 185, came back down, but I was looking for was the break of the 34, which was the top of these levels, retest of the highs, and it never could get back up there. Let me put that out there. So this was the level that I was looking for a break of, and it faked me. It came up here, and this one I was up like 180 something. Now I had 239 shares there in a long position. And literally, I just wanted a dollar. A dollar move would have been $200. Lock that in, put a hard stop under it. And then, if it wants to go up, great. Now today we come in and this thing is at $40, 39 bucks right now. And that is what, $5 away from where I had it. But I refused to hold it over the weekend because I didn't know what kind of news was coming out, and I didn't want it to be some kind of reversal where I wake up and now I'm down, under $30 because the SPY is back bullish. So I went ahead and sold it. I did not want to. One of the things that I've been working on is not letting those day trades become swing trades. Being in there, and because this could have went either way, with the right news. But here, sitting with my cash today, looking for some trades, but this was definitely some way bigger swings than what I'm used to because I didn't follow the system. Usually, I'm out almost immediately, right? I put my stop in and I'm out right at break even. But this one, I was like, man, the market is just so red. I always saw it was red on Friday. Red, 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 red. And I was like, man, I'm just going to stick this one out. If it hits 500, I'm going to cut it. If it doesn't, cool. It got close. It got 350 down there. It was $200 away from me. And then it started working its way back up. But I really think I could have taken maybe a better position. But the thing is, with the ATR high break, this breakdown broke the ATR highs here. When it zoom out some. What did I do? I did something bad. Okay, there we go. All right, I still need. Let's see, where's that little hand thing? Text. Okay, here we go. Cross dot arrow. Yeah, there we go. Okay, but yeah, the ATR highs was literally like right here at the 321 when I bought, looking for that break and hold of it, and it broke this down. Usually I would put a stop at that ATR high and just get stopped out. And that would have actually saved me a lot of money and pain on this drop. And maybe I could have just re-entered a little bit, but even if I re-entered a little bit, it came back here either way it went and would have stopped me out again with almost no profit. So I was like, well, this is just one of those learning experiences, but I am glad that I didn't lose 500 on Friday and start the month off horribly. The month is still green, the week is still green, but the market paid stupid on Friday. That's what it did. It paid me to be stupid. And so I went ahead and took that out. I was not going to let that go red on me again. Once I did get the green, I was like, well, you know what? This lunchtime, it was going green. I was like, I'm already, kind of looking crazy out here, not taking profit when I was up 185 there. But I mean, it's just hard to top tick when when you have your levels out here. And I'm like, yeah, I'm looking for this thing to break this high here of the 34. It can definitely do it, especially after it started ripping up here. I was like, oh yeah, we can. All we need is a wick up here, and I'm gonna be ready to throw a hard stop in, probably under one of these levels, like the 33.50s or 33.75, and look for it to keep going higher. But it did not get that gusto move on Friday. So that was the trade. Ended it green, but still, boy, that swing was nasty. I was looking at it, I was like, I'm gonna lose $500 a day. That's what's gonna happen here. Good morning, Mike D. Good morning, Donnell. But anyway, let's jump over here to the scans. SOSX is coming down as the SPY is looking a little bit more bullish. Let's jump over to the scans. So leading the way today is UVXY, which is a inverse. We can look at the beta, which is a -4. Now remember, it goes from -5 all the way up to +5. The fives are the extremes. This one is a -4. It's really active when as an inverse against the SPY. And it has an ATR of $2.75, which means that it can pay you, that 20, 30 cents, 40 cents very easily because it has a regular ATR of $2.75, which will probably be even higher on the open. Because usually like Friday, it didn't have this big old move. It'll probably be like $3 in the ATR once it opens up, once it recalculates. And then SOSX was the one that I actually traded on Friday, up 19% with an ATR of $3. So it's very easy to get that 10, 20, 30, 40 cents because of the range. Under that SQQs, the only reason I didn't touch this one is because the ATR is 50 cents. What's the point? If it regularly trades 50 cents, that means you need to plan for a profit that's below 50 cents, like 20 cents, 10 cents, something smaller than that regular range. LABD is another inverse, but these are a little bit weaker inverses with the -2s instead of -4s. And then the SPY is still red on the day. So Kind of going to be watching on Monday morning. Nvidia under $100 now, so very interesting. And then I showed you guys all the cryptos that are down. People are just, it's stuff just dumping all over the place. Bitcoin struggling to hold the 50s. Ethereum looking real red, coming up here off the 4,000s, dropping down to 2,000. BNB big drop from 700 down here to 417, and then some of these other little ones. Interesting. But yeah, as far as what I'm going to be watching today, I'm probably still going to be watching the inverses for small scalps. The only problem is this has been quite a bit of a rundown, and I'm wondering when this thing is going to consolidate, or does it want to continue? Now, if it wants to continue, I will continue to put in the ATR high method, but I have to stop out once those ATRs break. That was my biggest mistake from Friday. Those ATRs broken. I was like, man, I'm gonna hold this, bro. I'm gonna hold this. Just crazy, insane thoughts. And it was one of those things where I was kind of shooting the moon because I saw so much red on the board. I was like, if I sell this 200 shares, if this thing rips 34, I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be mad on Friday. So that's why I just kind of hung in there. Plus, now I was definitely following that $500 rule though. I had a hard stop at that 500 level. I was like, we ain't going past that. I can lose 500 and be okay. We can come back and make that back, but beyond that, if the spot was like super stupid bullish, losing $1,000 on an inverse, nah, bruh. I'm straight. I'm not paying those bills for somebody like that. Anyway, we got about 15 minutes to the bell. It's 8:12 right now. Central Standard Time where I'm at. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. Preparing for this week, another big red week. Actually, let me look at the market watch. Yeah. So we'll check this once it opens, but I believe this is from Friday, I think. Let me see. Change. No, this might be up to date. Change negative 2.7. It's not moving though. Let me see. Microsoft. How much? Or Meta. Let's see where Meta's at. Meta with 1 million shares traded, so it should be moving. Let's see. Down. No. This isn't up to date. It'll get active once the market opens. I was like, no, that doesn't look active. Okay, but we do have still red showing from last week. Some of the places that were still green: Apple, J&J, MRK, Abbott Laboratories. There's some smaller ones, maybe some medical ones that are still looking green. AT&T, man, that thing almost broke 20. Almost broke 20. I'm so ready for it to get back over 20. Oh, let's see AT&T here. This thing came up here, got up to 19.99 in the morning. I was like, yes, sir, we're going over 20. It did not happen. The SPY was not allowing it, and it took a dump from 19, well, basically $20, all the way back down here to 19.24s, which isn't bad for me. I'm not gonna get stopped out anytime soon, but just that would just be a level of new strength back over 20. Now, in the meantime, though, I am watching a couple of dividend plays that have been falling. One of them is UPS. I've been keeping an eye on this one. Let's jump over here to the higher time frames and the monthly chart. Keep an eye on this one. UPS came up here, was at 233, and it is revisiting a level here that it traded within. I already got the levels marked out that I'm watching for it to start breaking down these 120s and try to get back into these levels down here. Another one that I was watching fall was Intel. What's Intel? NTC. INTC. Intel at $20, which I really like. Coming back down here and trading within this zone here. So from $12 to $20, if I can get some down at 12, whoo, Intel, that's gonna be nasty, nasty buys down there. And I'm patient. I don't care. I'm not trying to jump in and be like, well, I hope it turns here. Nah, bro. Reach the zone, especially for a long-term play that I'm planning on holding forever. Reach the zone. Get on down there, and I will get 500 shares. And then there was another one called Ben. That's the other one I was watching. Ben. Ben here. So this one is another one that pays a pretty nice dividend. It's an investment company. They pay pretty nice, like I said. They've been down here to $10 before. They traveled down here to around 12 and 15 on this one. I'm looking forward to, come on down here and maybe give me an entry down here. I'm really not trying to buy anything too expensive. I'm building portfolios, not planning on a dump. Because as we saw on Nvidia, folks that got in high and were thinking this thing was just going to, skyrocket, and now it's under 100. So, that's kind of nasty. Nvidia ran up here from what, $10 all the way up to 140. And now, I mean, if someone was buying on this candle, they thought, wow, this monthly candle looks great. And they bought this maybe 119, 120 level, and now they're down this much. I just don't want to play those types of games, especially with the way that the spy and coming into the election and all of that. Now, I don't know what's going to happen after the election. Maybe there'll be a resurgence in the market once we figure out how the economy is going to shape based on policy. But that's what I'm waiting on some more certainty in the market, because right now it's just everything's all over the place. News is all over the place. Nobody knows anything. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna, well, I won't say nobody knows anything. I don't know anything. I don't know, have enough variables to be like, oh yeah, this is what's happening. Because I'm sure somebody somewhere in the world knows exactly what's going on. All right, but anyway, back over here to SOXS. Leading on the day. And this is one of the things, like, I'm looking at the top 25 movers. That's where I pretty much start my watch, where I start looking on the morning. What is getting the most volume? The top 25. Then out of that, my scanners come into play. So I have a large cap scanner, a mid cap scanner, a small cap scanner. I made an inverse scanner. And that's pretty much just looking for a specific ATR, and then that a stronger inverse is what I'm looking for that beta score. Is scanning all the market for those inverse beta scores, looking for strong strength and range. And that's it. Now I do have my other setups, which is my dividend setup, but that's all completely different. I got high yield dividends that I have a scanner for. Stable dividends. I have the legacy dividends, like those old ones that we've been seeing forever. Like Kroger, or some of those really old ones that you see all the time. Those dividends. Those are what I have termed legacy dividends. But I like to keep an eye on those. If they come down and give me some good prices, I buy those up. I just want 500 shares of everything. That's it. That's all. But yeah, on this morning, we're getting some good volume out here. SQQQs, 50 million shares traded on it before the open. Only thing I don't like about this one is the range. Maybe the range goes up today. Maybe it goes up to like 70 cents because it did this huge gap up from $10 all the way up to 11.32. But that's I doubt that, because of the gap that we saw in SOXS. This one went from 33, 32 bucks all the way up to 40, which was an $8 move in comparison to almost just a dollar gap up on SQQQs. So I don't like that range there. But yeah, keeping our eyes open to everything. We still have these stocks that are going down. SOXL, all of these with betas that really strongly follow the market. This one has a +4. This one has TNA has a 3. TQQQs has a 3, and yeah, they aren't looking great. They're probably shorts on today. People attack them, but they have plenty of volume and range. Look at the ATR on SOXL, $5.69 in the ATR. So how easy is it to make $1 on something that regularly moves $5 on the day? I'm like, yeah, that sounds pretty easy. That sounds pretty easy. But there are other variables at play that you have to take into consideration, as far as what the market is doing. You know, at this point on Monday morning, we don't know what the market's doing. It could go into this consolidation sideways. News could come out. And actually, speaking of news, let me jump over here and see what we can see out on NASDAQ.com. Okay. Latin American capital markets, cultivating fintech innovation. Okay. Question can change the world. Warren Buffett, a worry wart or sending a valuable signal to high-end, high-yield dividend investors. We know, Warren. You don't have to tell us about the high yields, dividends. We know. We are already attacking. Let's see. Whether you're just starting out or looking to brush up on your investing skills, blah blah blah. I want news. Where is some news on today? Let me refresh this. Okay, stock sell-off set to cascade. Nvidia Mag 7 set to shed $1 trillion led by Apple. Mag 7 set to shed $1 trillion led by Apple and Nvidia plunges. Okay. Anything else that makes sense on this morning? We have about 9 minutes to the bell as well. How to avoid taxes on CD interest. Okay. Why now is the time to buy Nvidia sell-off? Yeah, I don't know about that because the market can definitely stay in one direction way longer than you think. And that's why I like to see those top level stocks bleed out to a level where I can buy it, where people didn't even expect it to go. They're like, oh my goodness, this thing's under $20. What in the world? What happened? This thing shouldn't be down here. That's what I'm buying. It's too good to be true, right? Like, let's get it. Let's at least start a position. Because that was the issue with AT&T. I almost missed the whole trade because I wanted the perfect price. And I would not. I was like, man, if I can get AT&T under $10, oh my goodness. But then I thought about it. It stayed down there for a couple of weeks, and I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start a position, and if it dumps, I'll add to this position. So I just started, and that's what I got today. That start. But it's been paying me those dividends all this time. So I'm thankful that I at least took some kind of action down there. And that's how I'm feeling about UPS if it dumps, or Intel if it dumps. I want to see blood in the water. I want people to be like, oh, this company's done. It's over with. Okay, so let's see. So we saw a little bit of news, but nothing too crazy as of yet. Bangladesh resigns and flees country as protesters storm palace. Okay, they're getting active over there in Bangladesh. Activated. Let's see. Ended Shaikh Sheikh. I don't know. Hasina's 15-year reign. No allows killed 100. I saw him do that. That was pretty fast. He was definitely moving. He won it by like a head, literally. All right. What else we got? Drugov beats Belgium. Pretty much a bunch of Olympic news and things like that. Can 24-hour drinking zones transform a city? Montreal is planning on to allow bars and clubs to stay open all night, but opinions are mixed. Yeah, cool. How to find soaring success, photography, birds. I don't really care. Somebody cares, right? Rioters in the UK hurl missiles, set fires, and target hotels. Okay. Things are getting activated all around the world. Let's go over to business. Got about 5 minutes to the bell. UK European stock markets fall on US fears. TikTok sued for a massive invasion of child privacy. It's the same thing that happened to Facebook. Stock markets plunge as weak U.S. job fuels fears. Mui wildfire victims offered $4 billion settlement. Who did that? Is that a company we can get? Who is this? Mui. Oh, this is Hawaii. This is HE. I was watching HE for a while. They actually cut their dividend. Um, Hawaiian Electric. I've been watching them for a little bit. And over here on the larger time frames, I had already marked it up and everything, but they fell from 40 bucks down here to what, $10. And I was just looking, it hasn't started uptrending that much yet. And I think they may have just started back their dividend, maybe. Let me see. HE. Or maybe they cut it completely so they can rebuild. Hawaiian Electric Industries. Okay, so they were paying out a dividend, and yeah, they stopped on when the fires in Hawaii first started. That was back in 2003. They were doing dividends, and they had got it up to 36 cents there. They were looking quite well. Actually, it looks like it came down. So 1995, they're paying out almost 60 cents per quarter, and it came on down to 30 cents, came down to 30 cents, blah, blah, blah. But I'm just looking at this as a buying opportunity. But I want to see true levels be formed. I don't want to get in and get spaded out here. So let's look at the larger time frame. We're about to go into the open as well. I'm going to flip over there. But this was the pop-up. And I want to see it hold this level of the $10. That's what I want to see. I want to see it come back down here, test this, and I just wait. I might already have alerts out there. I forget, but whatever. Just waiting to see. I like those electric companies because they usually rebound very strongly. One of the ones that in California was PG&E here. PG&E did this one, and I missed it. It came down, to $3. This one was the one that the Californian fires, and I was like, I'm gonna wait, just like this one, wait and see if it starts to actually uptrend, if it wants to hold above 10, and give me some nice buying. So this one I'm still interested in as well because they usually resurge. Now the top level price was 71 bucks, and it is right now under 20. So I was like, okay, that looks pretty nice. That looks pretty nice. Now I don't know if PCNG was paying a dividend though. Let's go look real quick. Dividends. Oh, it was. It looks like a lighter dividend so it started paying 48 cents per quarter in 1987 and came on through paying 47, 40s, 50s, 30s, 30s, boom, 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 and then the fires happened and it had to cut everything in 20. But I guess they did continue to pay their dividends of 1 cent. But 1 cent, I mean, even if you had 1,000 shares, it's not going to be much. But it's giving you something, right? It's giving you a little bit of hope. Not much hope, though. But yeah, if strength comes back, I think they can get back to giving that nice dividend out as well. But I like it at this low price, and I'm just waiting for it to revisit some support so I can get more confirmation on it as well. But I like these electric companies. We have about 1 minute to the open. Let's jump back over here to the scans and see if we still have this one leading, SOXS leading in volume, so that'll be where we start watching on today. And it's the top leading one. Next one is SQQs. only up 15%, and then SPXS. And so this is where I'm gonna be watching. I'm gonna throw the SQQs up here too because they have 50 million, and also I guess I'll throw the SPY up there, and that's pretty much it. That's green. I'm only focused on the green ones. I'm not looking for something to pull some miracle move red to green. All right, but we got our open SOXS. ATR highs up here at 40.88, and my issue Friday was I bought this break and it couldn't hold, and I didn't stop out when it broke down. So this time it is going towards the lows. Looks like on SOXS has a low here of 39.19, 39.11 full bearish. But this is the beginning, not the beginning of the end, but the beginning of the week, the start of the race. And we want to come out and see if we can get green every week. You might take a red on the week, but try to get that green, man. Try to get that green, because every green week adds into your overall month. And that's what I like about trading, is your progress is visible, and it really gives you a sense of pride in whatever system that you're using when it can come out green. But yeah, 831, come down to this level, trying to stay above the 39.40s. Let's keep an eye on the SPY as well. The SPY is red right now, so SOXS should push on back up. We'll see. Let me zoom in on this SPY real quick. Okay, here is the SPY, how we're looking. So let's jump over here. Good morning, Lori Lee. So over here on the SPY, we got our ATR highs up here at 514. The beginning thought that it's going to be going green is 512. And then it's touching this first ATR, bearish ATR right here at 510, which it pulled up off of. Doesn't mean anything because this is just the first 15-minute candle. It could continue down. It hit a low in pre-market down here at 507. And then the full bearish mark is right here at 509. So we'll see which way it wants to go here. SOX going on down as the SPY comes up. Okay. Interesting moves. So the things that were leading are still in kind of an indecision, no breakouts or anything like that when it comes to the SPY. And the SPY is going to make the biggest decision on all of these because they are so strongly tied to it. But this gap, though, we do know that the market likes to fill gaps. This gap is all the way back to the $32 level, which is quite a bit of a move. We'll see if it can hold up here for Monday. The gap right here is at the 30. Oh man, it is at the 37s, 36.98 that it needs to hold up, unless it wants to try to fill this gap. SPY going on up, showing some green here. And so far, I'm not interested in any of this because the SPY hasn't made a decision. A lot of times trading without a catalyst, or you trade, with another stock. So basically the SPY is the catalyst. The SPY is breaking up, it's breaking down, and that's all the catalyst you need. That's the simplicity of trading those inverses and the Qs and all of that stuff. There, you can kind of use the SPY as your catalyst. But as far as true catalyst, something with actual news, I'm not seeing that is over $5. SPY jumping up there, coming up to the first ATR high here. ATR at 512.95 right there. So this is the first. This is where the bullish thought starts, but it has not got over that and held, and then full bullish up here at 514. So keeping our eyes on it now. Stocks that will be following this one is TQQQ, SOXL, TNA, but they are all super red right now, down 16. And I mean, it would be a huge swing if they swung from 16 all the way back up to 0 and all the way green. But that's just, I mean, for it to be a Monday morning and people just get in the market, I don't know how the possibility of that swing happening. That's almost a 20% swing back to green. SOXS going on down, and we see that there is a little bit of resistance at this bullish, this first bullish level, and also this is an inside candle from the previous red candle as well. So the body of this candle, 513 and then 511, it has to make a decision to not only hold this but engulf this candle, especially with it being the beginning of the market. It should have been able to engulf this candle if it was truly bullish. So we'll have to see if it wants to stay in indecision mode. Basically, if it stays between 510 and 512, it's a $2 range right there. You know, I'm thinking it could stay sideways for quite a bit. But SOXS making its way back down to $36. Back to this low here. I'm mute. Oh no. Testing, 1, 2. I'm not mute. Am I muted? Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2. I'm seeing my levels talk, so I'm wondering how I'm muted. Let's see here. Testing, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Am I muted? Let me monitor myself. What is this? No, not that one. Mic. Yeah, all that talking, bro. I am insane. Oh man. Okay. SOX. Okay, so now we're getting that move that's making the decision to be bullish here in the first 15 minutes. So getting over this 512, the question I would have is once this candle closes, how well would this this bullish action hold up? And this is the 15-minute, and we see it's making its way to engulf this previous candle. So that's engulfing shorts, engulfing those sellers there. But it does not mean this true victory. The true victory is the breakout. The breakout's up here at 514, and it still is not holding this level here of the 513. So we'll see. Getting pushed down a little bit there. All right, so SOXS has 15 million shares traded on it. The SPY has 18 million. And things are getting spicy. SPY looking like it wants to go bullish. But the thing is, sometimes you have to look at the overall trend too. I'm zoomed in, but look at the overall trend that is fighting. Big downtrend. Now that doesn't mean that it can't have a day where it just rips up, but you have to keep in mind that you are playing the backside of the move. You know, sometimes we zoom in, we're like, yo, these 3 candles, it needs to break here. But a lot of times I have to think in my head, zoom back or go to a higher time frame, see what's going on. So by doing this, like if I zoom back here and go out here to where am I going? The SPY. So let's go check out the monthly on the SPY. We say, okay, this is what the monthly is looking for that we're playing with. So this big red is the monthly. This bottom here is the 509. It dropped from 554 all the way down here to the 500 levels. This is a previous level that it got pushed down to, but got bought out of. And so now on the monthly, we can put out even more visible levels here. So what is this? 501, 501.82 down here at the bottom of this level was the previous tested point. So we'll see what happens there. If we go to the weekly chart, we'll see that this is the gap fill that we were talking about. Look at this big old gap here. That's a lot of work for it to push back up into. A lot of work at the beginning of the week. And it came down here to a previous doji candle here And there's more dojis in here. So there was some type of indecision around 500 last time it came down here. Let's look at the daily. All right, so daily, couple of gaps down here. Gap down 1, 2, 3 days in a row. Big gaps down. So we're waiting on that consolidation. And the thing is, the thing that I like about days like this is they prepare for small caps. You know, days where people are like, man, I can't find nothing in the large caps. I can't find anything in the mid caps. So they go to small caps. And so I'm thinking, you know, as this thing comes down, sometimes we see way more volatility in the small caps because more money's going down into play while the spy is trying to figure out what it's trying to do. Let's go to the hour chart on the spy. And yes, I have all of these open so I can zoom out and get my mind right. I don't like being zoomed in too much. So yeah, this is the hour chart. And this is what we're looking like on the ATRs on the hour chart. Came up here, tapped this ATR, but just not holding. And the bullish idea is right there at the 513.47. So below that, we're thinking it's a little bit bearish on the day. But this is the first 15 minutes, so you know, gotta give it time. Anyway, I just looked over. I gotta get to my morning meeting. You guys know what I'm looking at for the day, looking at these inverses. Hopefully they don't slam down or anything, but for the day, I'm kind of chilled. I don't really see any small caps or anything like that. Most of the attention is on inverses and the spies. So, you know, if I come back and trade something, it'll probably be an inverse. I'm looking at SOXS all the way down to 13%. Came down here to this bottom that we had marked up. The bottom here at 36.98 and popping back up a little bit, but still well below the bearish signal there. So I'm not too confident that that thing wants to go back bullish. Anyway, I got to get out of here. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'll be in the Discord. If I do see anything, I'll put it in the Discord. But I got to get to this meeting. I'm already late. All right. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. I stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. If you're going to continue trading, definitely keep your head in a swivel or on a swivel. And let's try to come out this week green again. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.